Yahia Lababidi, an Egyptian-Palestinian author of 10 books, has been called our greatest living aphorist. He has contributed to news, literary, and cultural institutions throughout the US, Europe, and the Middle East, such as Oxford University, Pearson, PBS NewsHour, NPR, and HBO. His latest work includes Revolutions of the Heart, a book of essays and conversations exploring crises and transformations, Learning to Pray, a collection of his spiritual aphorisms and poems, as well as Desert Songs, a bilingual photographic account of his mystical experiences in the deserts of Egypt. So I give you Yahia. Thank you. Unmute yourself. Yeah, there you go.
You hear me now? Okay. Thank you very much for having me, and for everyone for showing up, and for the beautiful poetry that I'm following, which I think is the same territory that I hope to explore in my work. I won't be reading from Revolutions of the Heart, which is more critical thinking, more essays, but I will be reading from 2 slim volumes of collections of, I guess, what I could call poetry of longing. It's unmistakably spiritual. It's undogmatic. I hope that it doesn't belong to any one group and can be heard across all lines. The first one is, well, they're actually both, I just learned this term, Irish twins, meaning born within the same year. So they were both published within the last 9 months. And the newer one is Desert Songs. I don't know what I have. I have some strange view on my thing. I don't know if I'm blurred or not blurred. Okay, there I go. I think this is unblurred. In any case, so Desert Songs is a bilingual book. It's English and Arabic. And it's basically from retreats that I took in the desert of Egypt, not in any kind of structured way, but just going to empty myself of the city and its noise. And I'm fortunate to have photographs in here from a Moroccan photographer. So the desert is the desert, whether it's Egypt or Libya or Morocco. I'm going to read one poem from here, and it's called Desert Revisited. Under a whirling skirt of sky, streaming light and stars, groping for that tremendous hem, gingerly over quicksand, as though steadied beneath some tongue and dissolving, not the absence of sound, but the presence of silence. Or as if transfixed by a gaze stern, serene, surveying a dream, foreign, familiar, incorruptible starting point, inviolable horizon, where eye and mind are free to meditate perfection. There, begin to uncover, buried in dust and disinterest, the immutable letter, first of the Arabic alphabet, Alif. Under the ever watchful eye, fearsome sun, forgiving moon, bless the magnificent hand. All else is blasphemy, a lie. Experience quietude, the maturity of ecstasy, longing to utter that unutterable name. Only striving, supreme or pure, can ever hope to endure the absolute face, the awesome embrace. So that was from Desert Songs, and I'll set that aside for now, and I mean for today, and I'll read some more poems from Learning to Pray. Learning to Pray is another book of longing, of literary hymns, and it's basically poems. I went through my books over the years, and I realized that there was sort of this golden thread of yearning, which initially I was too afraid to stand behind or to claim, and I'd scattered or even obscured in different books. And then I thought it's a good idea to collect these sort of prayer poems. And also I added some newer poems and aphorisms to this collection. So I'll read a few of those. The first is the titular Learning to Pray. And if I can find it, I have stickers here. There we go. Learning to pray. Long susceptible to the pious heresies of mystics, martyrs, and other fanatics, mad enough to confound themselves with God and declare it free of ego. Those spiritually reckless creatures, contemptuous of all rule books, traffic signs, and speeding tickets, in such a hurry were they to arrive. No social drinkers, these revelers. They drank to get drunk alone, that they might stay that way, sobriety being the only sin. But what of us? Without stamina for such superhuman attention, or the patience to stand in line, inching towards the checkout, might we forge our own language until we speak in tongues by asking of our every action, does this or that please you? Here's another poem. The title is Breath. In Arabic, breath, and maybe I'm sure in other cultures and traditions as well, there's something sacred about breath. So even if you were to prepare something, a meal, let's say, it's tastier because it has your breath invested in it. So breath is something that I used to hear a great deal about. This is sort of a larger take on that. Beneath the intricate network of noise, there is a still more persistent tapestry, woven of whispers, murmurs, and chants. It's the heaving breath of the very earth, carrying along the prayer of all things, trees, ants, stones, creeks, and mountains alike, all giving silent thanks and remembrance, each moment as a tug on a prayer bead, while we hurry past, heedless of the mysteries. And yet, every secret wants to be told. Every shy creature to approach and trust us, if only we listen with all of our senses. Not quite sure how to introduce this one, but it's about a kind of transition period. The Sufis have this distinction that they make. The Sufis are the mystical tradition within Islam, and they have this distinction they make between stations and states. A state is passing, a station is somehow more enduring. So it's somehow between ecstasy and sobriety, or I think that's plenty. It's called Embracing We Let Go. Perhaps we're negotiating not just with one, but always two, who share the same soil, it is true. One who lives, another who is dying. A shift in balance begins to take place. Once a love of silence is confessed, its roots run deep, its shade a world, and her fruits impossible to forget. From the first, we surrender something, and gradually consent to be empty, transfixed by so much soundless music, drunk and sated through lipless mouths. What use to name this silent master, preparing us for dying or the divine? I'm not sure there's a difference. But do know that in embracing, we let go. The next couple of shorter poems are in praise of hope and what poetry can do to affirm that, which I suspect is partly why we're here. The Light Keepers. Hope is a lighthouse, or at least a lamppost. Someone must keep vigil to illumine this possibility. In the dark, a poet will climb narrow, unsteady stairs to gaze past crashing waves and sing us new horizons. Others, less far-sighted, might be deceived by the encroaching night. Mistake the black for lasting, but not those entrusted with trimming wicks. Their tasks are more pressing. Winding clockworks, replenishing oil. There is no time for despair when tending to the light. This is the flip side of hope. And we're nearly there. This is the penultimate one. It's one shy of me being done. Hope. It's not quite as it seems. It's slimmer than you think and less steady on its feet. Sometimes it's out of breath and can hardly see ahead and cries itself to sleep. It may not tell you all this or the times it cheated death, but if you knew it, you'd know how hope can keep a secret. Thank you for your patience. Thank you, Hedi. Thank you for indulging me. I love this. This is very nice, the clicker. Thank you very much. Thank you. And this is it. This is the closing poem. Summary. The hands were made to clasp, the knees designed to bend, the body created to pray. What else is there to say? The mouth was shaped to gasp, the eyes drawn to attend, the soul commanded to obey. What else is there to say? The memory was wired to lapse, the heart fashioned to rend, the will inclined to betray. What else is there to say? Thank you. Thank you very much.
That was beautiful, and what a ending